Be'ezer Hashem, Parshas Boy, Tavshin Pei Hey. There's an interesting topic that the Chavis Havavis connects to the Inyanim of Bitachon, which most people, even though this topic it takes a big chunk of their nefesh, it takes them over and they're busy with it, people don't usually connect it at all to the topic of Bitachon. And the Chavis Havavis enlightened us, explains to us that if a person would think the way they're supposed to, then they could really heal themselves. And that is the topic of bididut, loneliness. If you ask psychologists today, what are the percentage of people that they are struggling with this hardship, that they feel lonely, they feel nobody understands them, they feel that they're not connected with others, it's a very high percentage.
My father said you saw a study that older people, that's a cause of illness?
Sure. With older people, loneliness is a cause of illness, and it could be fatal. Clear. The studies show that this could be fatal. That means the nefesh of the person, the inside of the person, doesn't connect to anything and feels like it doesn't have from what to take a reason for life. No emotions, no feelings, no life. And it causes harm physically. And people that pay heavy money, a few $100 a session, and they're doing it because they feel so lonely and they want to speak to someone. And it's not a feeling like, okay, they want to feel good. It's a tzorich hanefesh. It's very important for a person not to feel lonely. The Chavis Havavis comes along and says the humanity is split into two: the people that have surroundings and the ones that are lonely. That's how he calls it. Two types of people. Or you are from the people that have too many people around you, or akaponim a lot, or you find yourself that you're alone. Now it's very important to stress that being lonely has nothing to do with how many people are around you. Even though that's the most common, that's how people think. But people that feel that nobody understands them, they daven in a shul. There's a few hundred guys in the shul. They're so lonely. It makes it worse. It makes it worse because, first of all, sometimes you have a situation where the person is be'emes a drop different, doesn't have children here, doesn't have children at all, doesn't have children in this shul. Everybody's walking home Friday night with bonof keshasile zeisim, and I walk home alone. But not only if that's the case, if the person is a bit more bright, and the olim just doesn't get him, and it's very painful. It's be'emes painful. And then you have women at home that are they're smart people, and they're busy with technicals and mundane tasks. Little children coming, going, schlepping, cleaning. It's very lonely. It's not because there's no one on their block. There's so much. Their house is so hectic, but they feel so lonely because they can't have those conversations on their level on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, just to schmooze. On the other hand, there are the people that are busy having a social life, popular in all the groups. They're busy being social. One of the big ideas of technology in the last few years is how to build social life for people that are nowhere, but they could just be connected via all these social media platforms. What is that? That's a form of trying to artificially make you not to be lonely. So you could always be feeling connected. And then again you have kiyodua in that world, people that feel that they're lonely. That makes them lonely because they lose connection with live people because they're so busy being hooked on to social media. And then they're in their own world. They lost that warmth, that warmkeit of being in touch with people. So loneliness is something that's very common and very deep, And it's a big sugya in a person's life. It's a big topic. It's something that's going on actively, not only by people that know, but even by many people, thousands of people that don't know to show with a finger to be able to say, wow, that's my issue, but in the subconscious, they're lonely. So the Chosef of us, it takes it apart, officially. A separate part in Perek Dalit to talk about this topic and to try to help a person understand what's happening. So we're not going to be learning it inside right now. Well, let's elaborate and understand what's going on. Why does a person feel the need so badly to have company? The bottom line is that a person is always in a struggle to feel, number one, their erech. Erech means to feel that they're worth something. Who they are, zahut, how do you say, identity. A person needs to have an identity, and that identity has to be that he feels like he's worth something. That he's not a number. Even if he has an identity, he has to have like, I'm somebody. I'm a somebody. I'm not a nobody. That's one part of a person's nefesh that's very, very important, which is self-esteem. A person needs to have, you have to have self-esteem, not self-confidence. Self-esteem means I know who I am. I feel that I'm worth of being a human being. And I have a way of thinking, I have needs as a person. And then you have the second half, which is a person has the need to have some type of pleasure in their life. The Chavis Talmidim was killed in the war, the Piasetzner Rebbe. He writes in the Sefer Tzav V'Zirus, we mentioned it many times, in Oistes, every nefesh of a person, everyone, needs to get emotional and have warmth to it and have excitement and connection. If a person doesn't take that feeling from a good place, he says you're going to definitely take it, or from a place you're not supposed to take it from there, it's not going to do good for the person, or the person is going to be sick. It means emotionally unhealthy, not masuda. So it's also Alpi Kabbalah that the main two areas in a person's life where a person struggles is, you could call it Gaiva and Taiva, you could call it Yesoid and Malchus. There's many names, but for us what's important is to realize that it's fundamental, and it goes through life not only in the topics of being lonely. A person is always seeking, and it comes from a very good place. It comes from a good place. The nefesh of a person, and every person, every day, for sure, is seeking that self-esteem, to feel good about themselves as a person, and to have some kind of connection which gives them a certain level of pleasure that they're... you want to use the word satisfaction? That's sipuk. I don't want to use sipuk. I'm calling it tainug. That means pleasure. Certain types of a feeling of a chibur with something, with somebody. That's one. And the other is feeling like a mensch, who I am.
I say from the Alter Sabuk, if you put someone in a machine that would take out of him all of his kavod atzmi,
he would die. If you put a person in a machine that would take out all the kavod atzmi, that means the self-esteem of a person, the person would die, because the person needs to have it, because that keeps the person alive. They feel that they are episometzias. So now, usually, when a person is between others, so they would be taking both of it from the surroundings. That means a good word from someone. The people that are nodding their head, people that are showing you that you're worth, that they say good morning, they want to hear what you have to say about something. And then the fact that they enjoy your company, that's the second half. You feel that they enjoy the company. If a person feels that they've been abandoned, that there was a group and all the guys in the group decided to open up a new group and they just let the guy, that's very deep pain, rejection, very, very deep pain. Even though the person has so much talent, the person is, and he has money and a family, and Baruch Hashem, a person that feels rejected, that you're not needed anymore. So, and most of the time, not only we tell the person you're not needed, just it goes that we don't even tell them. That's how it goes. That means one night they found out, they then just went on a trip and just decided not to tell him and leave him here. And all, it's very, very painful, even for strong people, very strong people. And that's because a person takes their essence from the surroundings. They're being yoinik, they draw their feeling of mamash, the mehus of them, their essence from the surroundings. So that's what gives the person the feeling that they're worth something, even though they're not shvacha people. This is what's fascinating. Not because someone is like the shvacha boy in the class, and he never was successful in anything. So he's trying to feel that maybe I'm like making it. And then he was abandoned. No. Older people, smart people, successful people.
He was the leader of the group.
He was the leader of the group. It's even more painful.
Someone said that rich people sometimes can't believe that someone really likes them because of them. It's only because of the money, so they feel very lonely.
Sure. That's a gewaltige dogma. Common, like enke dogmas. Rich people, they're very, very lonely because they have the inner feeling that all of my relationships is about money. Because I feel it. All these people that come to my simcha and they tell me Mazel Tov and they came with a triangle just to show me they're the real best friend. They feel it so deep. There's nothing there. They feel, I wish I would have one close friend. Everything's about interessim, about what people feel that they can gain from me. So the bottom line is they feel lonely. They feel lonely. So all of us, in a certain sense, draw that satisfaction in these two areas from the surroundings. And it happens naturally. That means if you work in a place and the oilam enjoys you, nothing major, but for what you are. When you give your talent, sometimes you're the one that gives the sense of humor in the room. You're the one that likes to do a toiva, that remembers everybody's birthday. Nishmashana. On the most regular, natural way, you feel like a mensch. And you have that connection to others, and it just goes. And then people sometimes have they develop a desire to have a close friend, or for a single person to have a spouse. That means they want something deeper. They want to have both of the areas should be on a deeper level. So it depends how strong the person feels the desire, and le'umazeh, that means accordingly, if it doesn't work out to that extent, they're going to be very disappointed and devastated. In parentheses, there's sometimes a vikuach, argument from college teachers in certain Hasidic circles in the world. Like a, how do you say, not high volume, between themselves, the college, they have an argument if they should teach these colors that marriage is this beautiful, beautiful relationship of top. Because what if it's not going to be that level? It's going to be, no, it's going to go. But it's not, if you teach them that it's supposed to be rosy and a honeymoon, and that's what it is, it's not always like that. It doesn't mean that it's not working out. It's just not like that. Akaponim, it's a person has to realize that. If you're lonely, it doesn't have to be, they have to figure it out. If you feel lonely, you have to figure it out. Why you feel so lonely, and see what's happening, and observing it and understanding it gets you to chap what's happening.
You said that someone that needs a deeper relationship with a spouse and doesn't get it, doesn't work. It's just basically saying that the more the needed the person is, doesn't get it, the more he's hurt. And each person according to their.
So what you're saying is, and this is really opening the topic, what you're saying is the deeper the need of the person for that is, the more they're in for disappointments if they don't have it to that extent. So then they feel lonely even though they're so popular. even though they're so around, because they're not getting that deep sense of the relationship, which is causing them to feel lonely and abandoned in their self-esteem and their. But this is where Bitachon kicks in. This is exactly where the Chavos Avos takes us on a ride and tells us, 1 second, what's Be'emes going on, and what was Hashem's plan? What was Hashem's plan for every individual that came down to this world? Men and women, young and old, in all kinds of interesting situations in different places in the world, where people sometimes find themselves very, very lonely. And if you look around, you'll see that a big, big percentage of the population is technically alone. They're alone. It doesn't make a difference if you're a shoichet in Argentina right now for the next 7 weeks, or if you were born to be a genius and nobody understands. Be'emes doesn't understand you, but it goes to up to a minimum of 50% of the population, which doesn't. They can't really have that. So you said maybe maybe a lot of people don't have the desire. Maybe they don't have the need for it. Maybe they didn't have that they're supposed to have it. So the Chavos Avos, no, you're making a very big mistake. Should I break the news to you? The Chavos Avos. Not 50% of the population is in that matziv. 100% of the population is in that matziv. What is the pshat? The pshat is that if a person really is misboinin, a person thinks deeply into this topic and observes it from a perspective without having negiyas from objectively, you observe it, you'll chap that all those people around you, not only the oisha, the rich man, so the people around him only speak to him because they need his money and they're not really be'emes need his toiva. In the emes, all of us are like that. It's just not so open. Not so open. It's not so obvious. Not so obvious. What's the pshat? The pshat is that the people around you need you. Your children need you. It's not a problem. It means it's not like, oh, so they didn't want to really have a relationship with me. I can't believe it. Okay, I'm not picking up the phone again to them. No, but naturally, all those normal relationships are also built on interesse. How do you say it? On personal interests. But it doesn't have to be that it's wrong. Not because it's wrong. Not because it's gaiva or it's sheker. It's just the world was built to be like that. Mashpia makabel. So if you have two Medinas, two countries. These two countries made a peace treaty or made a heskim military or financially that they're going to be working with each other, and then you have health. They come together, all the countries, World Health Organization, and they're going to help each other and work with each other, and they sign agreements. Or you have two companies that they merge. There's a big thing that they're going to be doing together. So someone's going to say it's such a horrible world. I know why they're doing it. Don't tell anybody. They're trying to make more money. What's wrong? That means like that. It's emes, and it's also not horrible. You know why? Because it's not a sheker. It's only a problem when it's a sheker. When I'm telling you A and really I'm abusing you. Nobody's abusing. It's very good for a company to make money. It's good for the world. There's nothing wrong. We talk, we see. It could be good for you. It could be good for me. Maybe we could merge. Maybe we could, and it's going to work out. Relationships are not different. We all are needy. We can't use the Chanetza on our own. Nobody of us. So they should help us. They should make Mashpia Makabel. You have the key to my lack. I have the key to yours. So it's the same if we live in a little derfala, in a little town, a village, and you grow tomatoes and I grow cucumbers, and we decide to work with each other. There's nothing wrong, but it's built because we both want to eat and we're very good friends. The same is a child to their parent, vice versa. The same with people that are working with each other, and it's a shtickle community like. We meet each day, we work with each other each day. So it's very good that you have the sense of humor and you bring tea. And the other person remembers the birthday, and the other person says the yard site, and he brings l'chaim. It's very good. There's nothing, if it's not sheker, then it's not horrible. It's not a problem.
Once upon a time in the small villages, by the way, everyone made something.
Once upon a time, the small villages, everybody made something, and small families still try to do Be'esheva brachas. You only do it once until you find out what it really entails. And everybody, I'll bring the kugel, you'll bring the chalas, and you'll bring the cups, and we're good. So the world is set up that way. Not a problem. But if that's the case, you're here on your own. You're a ger. That means you come down to this world. And the people around you, who really is doing something for you only because they love you so much. Be'em is adasof. And there's nothing else. Nothing. Nobody. Not to bust anybody's bubble. Sure, 100%. It says in Tzaddikim, a Rebbe needs a Talmud. The biggest Tzaddikim said it. It's on a different level. Again, it's no sheker. If it's sheker, it's not. If it's emes, it's fine. But at the end of the day, we all need each other because we all need each other. It's a fact. It's a simple fact. That it should be love. That's be'emes ahabash in it at all. There's nobody. Sure. If any talent that a person has, he can do anything with it. Yeah. If I'm a singer and I go in the hospital to help and sing such varman agunim for the choile, there's no doubt that it's a few, as Mr. says, and a Kiddush Hashem and many, but it's not 100% because again, a person wants to be able to give and he feels that he's something because he did something. It has to be appreciated. There's nothing wrong. If a person realizes this and does it feel that that's my shlichus. So what does that lead us to understand? It gets us to chap that what was Hashem's plan with a person be'em is chapping that they're lonely. And Hashem, the bedavka, deliberately goes and puts people into lonely matzavim. Everyone. It's everybody. Also those popular people, sometimes even more. It's because a person is supposed to try to draw that unique, that chiyas, that life from the real source. And we're going to get to it to explain it. But the nekuda is that a person should be able to get it from the Rebbeinu Shalom and chap to form an active, live relationship with Hashem. To work on it by saying Tehillim and talking in your own language to Hashem. Realizing how Hashem is caring for you and taking care of details. Thanking, talking, that means the relationship, building that relationship. And when a person does something meaningful as in a mitzvah, meaningful because that was right, because that was my obligation and I did it, meaningful that they learned, or they did chesed with somebody, and then it builds the neshama from the inside. Hashem's plan is that a person should get those feelings from the real source. And then you be'emes not going to feel lonely. Be'emes, it's going to work. And many people have it. And a person shouldn't think that it's the highest madrega. It's not so complicated like it feels like before you developed it, before you learned how to do it. It's not who knows what. You just have to learn how to do it and chap how it works. But in order to chap it, let's go back to our level and chap something very important. Because if not, it sounds like, shkoich. You're not really giving solutions. You're just going back to the person. I'm supposed to be a malach. Thank you. When a person really does give you love, any person that gives you a good feeling, understanding, even only understands you, and gives you recognition in any level, the purity that there is in it, there is a certain level of emes and it's nothing. I don't mean anything. I really enjoy you, and I didn't mean anything. Not telling you thank you because the mother called him up and told him, please tell him thank you. Garnish, I should appreciate you. That the receiver end, that means the person that's getting it is getting it from above through this person that's telling it to you. It's very important to know this. The makor, the source to this concept, is Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu sees people not realizing that Hashem is just feeding them and taking care of them when they're in the midbar. So Avraham Avinu goes and gives them food, and they're emotional, and they say, "Wow, that was you saved me." Now I was in the desert. I was mamash not managing. Thank you with appreciation. And then Avraham Avinu that second says, a little twist, it wasn't me. It means now that I got you to have that feeling, I'm just being honest. I'm being honest with you. I didn't give this present. I was just told to bring it over. You know, sometimes a guy comes with a big package, big fruit platter, and the guy says, "Thank you. I can't thank you." No, he says, "Yeah, I'm the delivery man." It's the emes b'emes. So Avraham Avinu told it to all the people. His idea was, if I'm not going to help them chap and feel what Hashem is giving to them, they're just not feeling it at all. So I have a gewaldige eitzah. I'm going to give them that feeling, and I'm just going to show them, no problem. You have it. It's a true feeling of appreciation. Just it's not to me. I'm going to tell you who to say it to. Say it to Hashem. Divert it. That's it. So it's a gewaldige eitzah in Kiruv also, of course, that you get the person to really have a deep feeling, and then you say, "I promise you it wasn't me," and then the person slowly forms that relationship with the place that I got that feeling. So this helps us that when a person feels that I do have people around me, I do have people that appreciate me, I do have people that love me, I have people that understand me, you should chap that it's Hashem that's placing those people around you to help your satisfaction, to help you be successful. Think about it. It is like that. Because in 1 second, all of a sudden a person doesn't have it. So the pshat is Hashem is placing very important factors around you in life to help you have the very important, very, very important feeling. People sometimes feel that Hashem is helping with parnasa, or I'm struggling with parnasa. So it's like there's parnasa, there's health, there's let's say ruchnisdige successes in life, children, like the main zachen. They don't connect that if in certain areas of my life I don't feel lonely. Different areas, let's say I do, but certain areas in my life I feel I have like a clique, 2 guys. We learn on Wednesday nights. I love it. I enjoy it. We understand each other. No, so who gave it to you? Hashem gave it to you. Oh, so if you chop it there, if you could place the right name in the areas where you feel that you have a relationship with people that gives you that geschmack, you must learn how to develop that feeling from Hashem without having the emtsoi, without having the middleman, because Hashem is willing to give it to you in different areas. The world was created in a mahalach that you should be able to have it in all of your areas at all times. It's official. Just Hashem gives it to you in the easier way in some areas, and then then a person learns and chaps. So it was Hashem there. No, Hashem is here also. So now let me talk to him. And let me understand that he understands me. Someone, the Rebbe knows what I'm going through.
Same concept as Ushel Heinz and the Bible. You get any kind of pleasure, even like physical food. Remember that Hashem gave it to you.
Any type of pleasure, not only food. You should have that Hashem is giving it to you. So sometimes people don't feel that this is even pleasure. They feel it's like, or it's a given, or it's a missing stam. It's my nerve. It's not. It's an official topic, and it's very deep. And be'emes, it's around us every day. It's part of a person's psychological feelings. If he's matzliach, if he's not matzliach, if he's happy, if he's not happy.
And then you appreciate the person who's the shliach so much more.
Sure. That's what's so exciting. If a person knows that Hashem put that person next to me, because Hashem wants to help me to have that support, you're not going to appreciate the person because it's Hashem. It's the opposite. You look at them with a higher, It's not Megushim. It's wow. This is the
Shlich HaMelech.
yeah. This is the Hashem. In the English, there's a word for it. His galus of the Shechina I'm having right now. The Shechina is helping me, and sometimes a person could see it so clearly, so clearly. Not sometimes, not much always. If a person opens their eyes and they try to see it, it's just like all other areas that we always are busy with what we don't have instead of what we do, and that's where we keep on getting stuck. We're not busy with the good. We're not gratitude. We're not busy with it, reminding ourselves. But if a person does, they're going to see that Hashem, it couldn't have been more perfect. Hashem should put next to me. Sometimes it's a spouse. Sometimes it's a child. Sometimes it's at work. Sometimes it's in the shul. Wow. Hashem knows, and this is important for me. Sometimes a person has to work on themselves to chap that it is like that. And then when they work on themselves, they start realizing different values and talent that person around them has, that they never saw it even because they weren't being misboinen, they weren't deeply thinking. Now, when a person is in a matziv, that technically they're not around people, it's a gewaldige opportunity. It's a fascinating opportunity. People feel that when they are lonely, they have nobody around them. This is like right now I'm struggling, so I'm going to wait till it gets light, or I'm going to be bitter about it, or I'm going to be working, trying to take it from all kinds of places. People don't realize that Hashem puts everybody into matzavim that they're alone, they're with themselves, and it's opportunity. It's opportunity to develop tools, how to be in touch with Hashem and talk to Him and thank Him, and slowly feel that closeness. Hashem is here.
Meir Shapiro, when he was traveling in America to raise money, it was a very lonely, horrible time, and he made that niggin, Imamarti Motor Agli Chasdach Hashem Yisadeni.
Imamarti Motor Agli Chasdach Hashem Yisadeni. Meir Shapiro made that niggin when he was traveling in America on his own, trying to make money for the yeshiva and not being successful, and feeling lost. And now many people, they find themselves Shabbos somewhere. They find themselves. I'm saying Shabbos because social media kills it. When it's the middle of the week, they finally are on a plane and they're busy texting. That means they're not utilizing the opportunity of being with yourself, and that causes damage. It causes a gewaldige damage. They're not doing anything wrong, but they're not developing something that's critical. To be with yourself. And even when people learn, this is fascinating, sometimes people have chavrusis. They never get to learn on themselves, on their own. They're always learning with somebody. So it's always a social experience. So how's it going? Okay, let's learn. It's always a social experience. When a person learns with somebody else, a certain percentage is always social. Because you're in touch with that person. That has gewaldige meile. But if you never have Shechina Yosef Hashem Kenegdei, means you never have that time that you learn with Hashem, that you say now Tehillim only with Hashem, and it has to be in different occasions and different types of matzavim, because if not, it turns into mitzvahs nashim lamoda. It just becomes, you don't feel. There's no relationship. So if they don't utilize it, they don't have it, and then when they don't have people, they're once again lonely. So a person has to chap how this works. The Yid in America, Choshev Yid, he's not alive anymore, but a lot of people knew him, that he was in jail for a few years. After he left, he was released from jail. He saw that his Kiddush Friday night was b'chalal not doime to what he felt when he was in jail. Because he was on his own. So he was with himself, he was with Hashem, and he was practicing because he had no breda. He had no choice. So he spoke and said Tehillim and was thinking, and then he said Yom HaShishi. So after he left jail, he used to be up Thursday nights, a whole night and learn, and then Friday he wouldn't speak to anybody. To be able to once again have that feeling by Kiddush that I had those years I was in jail. Fascinating. Because now you don't have to be in jail for it. It's just that if a person is always between others and doesn't develop it, then they don't know what it is. Now, let's go one more step. Hashem put people around us not to give us a certain feeling, stam. It has a purpose, it has a very stark purpose. So a person should do good with them. So a person, whatever gains from the people around you, you should remember it's from Hashem. And ultimately you should get to a place that even if you're between who knows how many people, it doesn't make any difference because you're anyways in touch with Hashem. You could be on your own, you could be with others, basically the same. That's what Hashem wants a person to get to Madrega. But a person has to chap, because if they don't put their mind to it, and they never ever think b'chlal in this area, so all the people around them, he's using them. It's time to give him pleasure. He should be drawing self-esteem from others, and he's never being yoinik from the Rebbeinu Shalom. So in the Olam Hazeh, it's a problem. Also, even Chachmas Chaim, because you're going to be in pain every time. It's not exactly. You see, sometimes older people, they need to constantly go like a shield of their children or whatever, because they feel insecure. They feel insecure. They feel like because they didn't develop to be able to be there with themselves. Sometimes people get into a fight with their children about coming from Shabbos and Gesudis. There is more things involved, but this little Nakuda that they can't be with themselves. They can't. But then the person has to be able to get to a place that he didn't want 5 couples to come for the Seder because it's too much, too hectic. The children, there's no, it's a playground here. But his wife loves it. So we've been through that to say the last year that he won way, and now she won. And he has to be able to sit by the Seder, and he's with the Eibishter. So good, so fine. It goes both ways. It goes both, because you're supposed to develop a feeling that it doesn't make much of a difference what's going on around me, because I'm not so connected to it in a sense that I'm drawing my chiyas. If people are looking at me, if people are, it doesn't. I always have a close connection with the Eibishter, and that's anyways what's the, like 80% of my chiyas. So I like it more this way. It'll be the other way. So that's why the Eibishter puts people into such a shalom bayis situation. There's a tachlas. There's a this way. Okay, now the other way. Now with people, now without people, till it doesn't make a difference. Now a person that doesn't develop it is a person comes to Olam Haba. Lonely is not the word. Lonely is an understatement. That means what happens is the deer. That's what they say in the Sforim. The Sforim explain that. The Sforim explain that when a person is in that world, the Malachi Chabola and the loneliness is at the peak. Mamish. It means nobody. A person loses their in Olam Hamas, in the Neshamas. There's no family. There's nothing going on. Huh? They forget their name. Legami with yourself. If a person didn't develop it, it's very, very painful. Mamash lost. A person that develops it, so the person says, listen, I know what this is. I've had that before. You're with me. That's it. So that's the pshat, why a person has to have journeys in this topic of loneliness. Journeys. And it helps a person, and the good news is that not different than all other areas of Bitachon, this is something that gives a person such comfort in this world, working on it. It develops such deep, calm feelings by a person if a person works on it, to be able to get to such a place. If the Eibishter brought you into such a matzav, and you find yourself being alone, work with it. Talk to Hashem. Understand that even when I have others around, it's also that Hashem put them there to show me how much He loves me. So if that's the case, So now is not different. The Eibishter didn't drop me. I'm not abandoned from the Rebbeinu Shalom. If someone abandoned me, if someone gave me that that feeling, Hashem didn't take it. It was okay. He was a little. Now I'm going to get it from a different place. I don't need him because if he only used me when he needed me, so why do I need him so badly? If I'm the Rebbeinu Shalom. So it helps a person in every matziv. They never feel like they're legamri alone. Ki ato imodi. Okay.